I teach at a local heels dance studio, but my big heels class is designed for those of us who want to wear our big platform shoes. That's not to say the class can't be taken by other dancers with either no shoes or straight heels, but it's designed to accommodate platform heels. And there's a couple of differences that we want to take into account and remember if we're dancing in platform heels versus street heels. So the first thing we want to take into account is that our platform shoes are going to be a little bit heavier than most dance shoes. So adding some type of eleve sequencing or some type of releve sequencing, plies, holding with this eleve, building that ankle stability, even maybe some movement while we're in these poses could be helpful because those heels with the larger platform have more weight. So we want to make sure that our body is prepped and ready and that our ankles understand the movement we're going to be doing. The second thing we want to remember is getting to and from the floor is a little bit different. So as I reach forward, even though I have a nice forward fold, I still can't actually reach the floor without bending at the ankle, bending at the knee, or actively toppling forward. So I want to keep this in mind. Balance is going to be a little bit different. So as I'm going down, I want to make sure I'm sticking my booty back and really reaching forward. Speaking of balance, that's going to be our third factor. Not only is getting to the floor up and down going to be more challenging, but so is balance. So when I'm getting to and from the floor, instead of thinking external rotation, if I'm going to do a forward fold, I actually neutralize that rotation, knees forward, stick the booty back and reach forward. That way I can push into the outside of my feet to help me get to the ground. Now if I'm just going to squat down, I want to bring the shoulders over hips, external rotation, and come down to a squat. If you're the kind of person who really likes your ankles to be pointed, this is going to be a little bit challenging. Either way, I want to make sure that when I'm coming to the ground, I'm not smacking body parts. So I'm either gently rotating and shifting my weight onto my floor foot so that I can bring the other leg down, or I'm doing some type of clack sequence. So maybe I'm doing that forward fold, hands down, clack. Another thing we really want to take into account is how we're maneuvering around our foot. So when we're doing dance with regular heels or barefoot, we tend to do a lot of movements where we're curling the toes under. Can't really do that in platform heels. So we want to make sure we're using the platform and the front of that toe area to press into the ground. Now, depending on where my ankle is, that could mean the top of the block near my actual toe or the bottom of that block, so the bottom of the platform where the rubber comes over the front. Either way, instead of curling the toes under, I want to think of pointing through the ankle, again, either using that rubber or using the front part of my shoe where my toe is to drag and slide. The last thing we want to think about here is the actual size of your heel. Now, a standard dance heel is probably about half the size of this platform heel. So as I'm doing movements where I'm maybe passing the heels underneath me, I want to make sure that I don't stab myself, catch my clothing, or hook the heel on some other part of my shoe or other heel. So as you're dancing, keep these things in mind. We want to make sure that we're doing some type of ankle stabilization. When we're getting up and down, we want to make sure that we're really shifting our weight, finding balance before we actually stand up or sit down. We're making sure that we're using the platform, not just our body parts, and keep an eye on those heels. Make sure you don't stab yourself. If you're looking for more information like this, feel free to hop over to StudioXpresents.com where we have a full scope studio for dancers.